Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
It's been so long since I talked to you.
It's been eternity. I am chilling. I'm out here. I got a little sparkling lime water.
Ooh.
Feeling very good about that. I don't know if we've talked about this as a proper happy thing.
If we have, I
something
forgot.
that's been mentioned. If we haven't forgotten, and also I don't care. I want to talk about it again.
I believe you.
But we've definitely referenced it a lot throughout this program. But I have actually been revisiting it, so I want to talk about the greatest reality show ever made, which is 4 Weddings.
Oh my god. Thank you.
I want to talk about 4 Weddings, okay? Because, listen, we shit on Max a lot, but it has given me so much
gift of TLC.
Just available to me whenever I want, and that's really useful for my life. Like,
Amen.
Nicole and I have been kind of treating it as like a pregame show of like, we'll watch it like before we go out to do something, or like, you know, whatever, have plans or something, or a pregame to other shows. It's like the perfect hype
always
show.
Yes,
because it's like, listen, these 4 women volunteered to let a camera crew and 3 other strangers into their own nuptials is wild, and there's so much going on.
Right.
It's always wild. There's so many more. The true bad thing of this is that there's a lot more plantation weddings than I remembered from this program, especially down south. So that's not great. I don't love that. But everything else, wonderful. I saw an episode where there were 2 competing peacock-themed weddings, and I don't even think either of them won. It's amazing.
It is. I have to be so careful with the type of straight media that I consume.
Right, you gotta protect your heart.
100%, right. I have to protect my well-being. 4 Weddings, There is never a time where if someone asked me, like, do you want to watch 4 Weddings? I would never say no.
Never. Not once. No.
I'm always in the mood to watch 4 Weddings.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing about it is that it's not just a show that you can put on and be silent in. I have to be able to, with anyone I'm watching it with, you have to be able to pause and debrief.
Right. 4 Weddings, you have to be an active participant in watching.
Exactly.
Which is crucial to enjoying it. Also, the season I think we're watching like one of the later seasons, which is like, I don't know. At that point, I think they were filming up until like 2018. So like, there's some late seasons. But we were watching one that a lot of the weddings were in Louisiana and New Orleans, which is always fun because you get a lot of cool things going on there. But there was this one wedding where this girl had like people in these very large, like imagine like the underskirt of a very big ball gown. Like the poofiness, but it's all out of wire, or it's like metal, and there are individual drinks in like all around it. So it's just like a bottom dress made of drinks that people go and grab and stuff. And that was a negative thing for some of these brides, because they kind of ran out really easily and really quickly because there wasn't a lot of drinks on there. It's like, there's a human woman wearing a drink dress. What do you mean? So I love it. It makes everyone a critic, and I'm obsessed with it. I have no expertise on design or weddings or planning, but I am an expert when I watch 4 Weddings. It's a perfect show.
There's so much that I love about 4 Weddings, especially because it takes everything that I dislike about the wedding industry, about pitting queens against each other, but it makes it something about taking everything that I dislike about weddings in general but it makes it a show that I'm obsessed with. And I don't know how they did that, but but it's amazing. And I love it so much.
Yeah, it's got the unique ability of, like, I'm obviously not an expert about design or fashion,
but during those 30 minutes
to wedding, right? But I am chief number one expert in all of those things when I sit down to watch Four Weddings.
Oh man, I was fully committed on what I was going to do today, but I just also love. This is just a side thing about TLC. I don't know how it happened that their brand became like 3 pillars, which was weddings, really fucked up toxic families, like really bad families, and then also people with like just odd conditions, like that umbrella. And that could fall under so many different things of like either mental health conditions or just like things on their body that they needed help with.
Sure.
But God damn it worked though.
Yeah, they really kind of got it. They nailed it.
Right. Oh, man. There's a lot of things that we have lost over the last 3.5 years. Four Weddings was one I was definitely bummed out about losing. Yeah. Pour one out.
Rip.
Yeah.
So yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm definitely here. My happy thing combines 2 of my favorite things, which is Otter Pops and
fuck yeah.
which is already amazing. Thank you, Otter Pops, for existing. And updates from reliable news sources.
Okay. Yeah.
And that is specifically the TikTok account Ms. Clarified, otherwise known as Clara. And I specifically wanted to bring Claire to the space because for the past 11, 12 weeks now, I have been referencing and referring to Clara's TikTok account for updates on the WGA strike, and now for both the WGA and the SAG-AFTRA strike. And each day, the news updates have been coming with both Clara and an Otter Pop type icy situation. And I think that that's a beautiful way to deliver news. Is like, here is an ice cold treat because it's hot in LA. And here is reliable news because I am in the industry and can give it to you.
I do love that.
And I think that that's really powerful. Especially over the last week plus. Mainly when SAG-AFTRA got involved. There's been just a shit ton of misinformation going around. Primarily because of the way that influencers are involved. And I have been mostly referring both to Clara and mostly to Clara and Fran, who has been a source of information for me for 12 years now. So being able to have a reputable source of news when things are continuously updating is crucial. And doing that for no compensation takes a lot of effort, and I'm very appreciative of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah, it's very confusing, and things are changing all the time. But I like that it's like, hey, let's just think about it. Let's take a beat, you know?
Yeah, especially when it's like, these are not industries that I'm involved in. I just like to know because I care about strikes and the industry, because these are, tangentially, this is what we talk about here.
Right.
And so being able to get that from a primary news source is valuable. And so thank you for doing that for no reason other than because you exist. So thank you.
I love that.
I love it
Thank
too.
You for all of your service.
Thank you for your service, and thank you for reminding me to have a nice treat. Because I've also been having a popsicle in the afternoon.
Yes, so crucial.
And summer popsicles are so nice, and I appreciate them so much.
I love that.
We have a piece of current events that is kind of a two-parter. And I realized that we had not talked. It's been a while since we talked about Robert.
Yeah.
So it's time to talk about Robert, specifically in connection to Oppenheimer. So, I know you all have been asking. You've been clamoring. You've been in our emails. You've been at our door. Where is he? Mm-hmm. Why isn't he in Oppenheimer?
God, where's my boy?
And Sci-Fi, specifically this piece by Josh Weiss, is here to answer this for you. About where is he? Where is our boy? When he's not at the Eras Tour.
Right.
So, apparently, Christopher Nolan was able to drop some news. One about why Robert isn't in Oppenheimer, along with the, 25 white dudes who all look the same in this movie. And it's because, and I know this is going to shock some of you all, Nolan says, quote, he was busy.
Listen, it happens, right?
He was, and he goes on to explain, he's very much in demand these days. So that's apparently Nolan just couldn't get him.
He's booked and busy,
right?
He's got a lot of things going on.
So I don't know what you want to say.
He's everyone's little darling now.
Yeah.
And he's not Nolan's number one boy, He's got other boys in his life.
But he was, in a way, related to Oppenheimer.
Yeah, he essentially birthed this movie.
Which is a wild thing.
Fucking dude. Right. This fucking dude. He would, honestly, be so really weird. Into long historical books about the uranium bomb. He would be. I believe that. And he's like, hey, buddy, Chris, my dude, I think you'd really like this. You get a kick out of this. You should make a movie about this.
Yeah, apparently when Tenet wrapped production, Robert's gift to Christopher Nolan was to give him a book of speeches that Oppenheimer had given. Weird gift to be like, here's this dude who is associated with death.
Right.
And I mean, to be fair, Oppenheimer did try to right the wrongs afterwards. A little too late, my man.
Right.
But just a weird gift to give someone of here's the creator of the atom bomb. Enjoy.
Right.
What the fuck, Robert?
He's such a weirdo. What is his deal?
I see you. You look sick and twisted like me. Here's a book about someone who's also sick and twisted.
Yeah, and a sick and twisted mind.
And of course, Christopher Nolan was like, yes, sick and twisted. I can do something with this.
There's something here.
God damn it. Robert.
God, look at this monster you've created.
Why don't you stop giving Nolan books? How about that?
Right.
Or give him something happy for once in his fucking life, Give him a book about therapy, How about that? I'm hesitant. I want to talk about these chapters today. I'm also nervous.
Do you?
I don't.
Because I don't.
I don't.
Ferrero is sick in the head.
Someone gave her a fucking book of Oppenheimer's speeches. She's so fucking twisted.
God.
She didn't get enough parallel play as a kid. She's so fucking fucked up. And I get it. Listen, we have a very similar Sick and Twisted, but that doesn't make it okay. It's not good.
Right. It doesn't make me like it.
Right. It doesn't make me happy regardless. Okay, so here's what I remember from last week. Lissa was with Mother Time, who got one of the riddles 3. and was sent along her way for 24 hours of silence to try and solve the riddle.
Right.
Sydney was questioned again. She's been up for forever and is now put effectively on house arrest near the court for no reason. Sydney's innocent. Leave Sydney alone. Can someone please make merch of Leave Britney Alone? But Sydney, please and thank you.
Fuck. Yes.
She's done nothing
Just like
wrong.
really cool cars in the background.
Right. Like cars, like Mad Max cars, like on fire car. Like, she deserves
Yeah,
it.
totally.
Yes.
Thank you.
She's so tired. She just wants to eat French fries and watch Real Housewives. Can we just... God. She just deserves it.
Who among us would?
Exactly. Just let her be. And then Rose and Dimitri had a really, like, hot sexual tension moment, but it wasn't, like, hot and sexy. It was, like, really tender and romantic. And then Dimitri was like, wait a second. I feel safe and that's dangerous. And also, I need to be, like, righteous and good. And I can't steal this woman from a man.
Right. I'm a good boy.
I'm a good boy.
I don't take guys' girlfriends.
And then Sonia's prophecy came true and Rose fucking lifetime snapped and killed Victor.
Right, also that happened.
And also Rose's brain done broke.
Yeah.
And you might be like...
The
yeah.
bad juices are leaking.
You might be like, yeah, Victor's dead. But she, like, killed him.
It was like murder. It was like not good.
Yeah. It wasn't like a guardian kill. It was like she killed him.
Right.
Which is not... She, like...
Yeah, kicked the old dude while he was down, you know?
Yeah, it was like she
good to
remembered
look
he
at.
was like an old man, right?
Right. It was like putting up a fight.
Right,
really.
exactly. So anyways, that's what you missed on Glee.
Yeah, so everyone's like in a really cool headspace for these chapters.
Oh yeah, also Jill's there. They did get Jill.
Right, yes. So Jill's there.
Oh, and Ricky
so
Bobby's
like
left Sinclair's. That's the last thing.
That's true, right, yeah. So going to these chapters, I'm feeling super normal.
Right.
And good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling really great.
Everyone's in a cool space.
Everyone's like so happy to be here. So everything's kind of a blur. Rose is like out. She's like brain done over. The dark juices have leaked in and she's like KO. It's out.
Yeah.
So that's great. She's just chilling in the front seat, disassociating. Dimitri's driving out, getting rid of the body, taking care of business, no questions asked. And then they're like, all right, let's just start heading towards court.
Sure.
We got Jill. Let's do it. This is the time. And escort, the situation. And Sonia's like, ooh, I'll, try to see if I can get Emily in a dream and be like, hey, bestie, it's all good. You have your child. it's fine. Everything's good.
Oh yeah, and tell John to go fuck himself, by the way.
Yeah, fucking narc. Yeah. And so Rose is like, cool. Let me just check in on Lissa. I'm feeling good and great, and this is not a distraction.
Right.
I need to feel normal.
I've got enough of the healing juice from that necklace that Sonia gave me. Let me just go check on my Bond bestie.
Yeah, I feel good about everything right now.
Right. Oh. Lissa's also not doing well.
Yeah. The girlies are not doing so great.
Right.
And there's a lot of just questions about this riddle and also the riddle of Tatiana's murder that's like on the tip of your tongues but not quite
right
there, which is it's not great to be perplexed in those many ways, in those very different positions.
It's too many riddles. You can't...
Yeah, one riddle's enough, right? Like, one mystery is a lot to do, 2? That's a lot.
So apparently when Rose was unraveling, the Guardians had taken Joe in. Y'all remember Joe, right? The janitor, everyone's favorite NPC.
My favorite character, yeah.
Who apparently had seen Rose be the murderess in Hans's language.
Yeah.
And Joe admitted apparently, I don't know if it was like him doing it or if the Guardians were being little shitbags, but he admitted to seeing the twisted-handed Moroi in Rose's building the night of the murder. So that's something to keep in mind. And that's the guy that Ian recognized, Sydney's other, like, alchemist pal, which is interesting. So lots of puzzles.
While this is happening, apparently there's like kind of a mini, not like revolution, but like people are getting really excited about the idea of Lissa as like the For the People candidate.
Oh yeah.
And like she's had stands this whole time, but like they've kind of been like in small numbers. They're like hell yeah, because it was like not a possibility, right? And still technically it's not because they don't know about Jill, but there's like a bunch of people now caught up in the wave, the Lissa wave, and being like, the rules should be changed, they're archaic, this sucks, and like going out protesting in the streets for our girl. And Lissa's like, oh my god, do you like me? You guys like me? Oh my god, what?
Yeah, everywhere. She can't go anywhere now without people being like, oh my god, I love you, Lissa. You're my favorite dragon.
God. Come to Brazil.
Literally. Yes, exactly. She has so many fans now.
Yes.
There's so much happening, which has to be stressful for Lissa.
Yeah.
And she's just tired of it. Like, she doesn't really... Right. At this time, she's like, I don't even want to be queen. Why are we doing this?
Right. And Lissa's never wanted to be queen. She's just like, I'm sleepy.
Right.
I just want to do my thing. Like, I'm 18. I want to have, like, a hot girl summer.
I want to go to college. Right? She's just a nerd.
Right. Right, yeah. God.
But Janine, after seeing all these supporters, is like, I've literally never seen anything like this. Like, you have so many fans.
Yeah.
You're, like, K-pop level famous. It's wild.
Right. It's actually pretty nuts.
I'm scared over it. But Lissa's very adamant that Ariana is going to be the one that's gonna win.
Right. Yeah. She's the it girl. She's the moment. Number one candidate. The people need her.
Right. The conversation that they're having gets interrupted. Adrian pops in with his usual cloud of smoke, liquor. And he's like, listen, we gotta go on another field trip.
We have to investigate once more.
Which is it's the last thing that I want to hear from this dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I let out a heavy sigh as I read these words.
Makes me so nervous whenever he says this. Like, who else did you find, Adrian?
Who else are you gonna accuse of being the murderer this time? In their maybe place of work.
And it's literally their place of work. He found Serena.
Right. Who's
now been moved, apparently after she survived that attack at the Applebee's when Lissa was visiting her school, got sent off to a different school. She's now here, back at court because of all the things that are happening with the trials. And now they're going to go bother her at her job to go and try to get information about those, like, secret people that Grant was training.
Right.
Cool. Sounds nice to do.
Yeah. Good idea. Good job, everyone. We're figuring out how to investigate.
Great. Let's go send these 3 kids in the trench coat again. This will be great.
And so Serena is obviously like, I can't just, like, leak my source. Like, this is very confidential. It's crazy that you even know this. Like, this, no one should know about any of this, and no one was supposed to.
Right.
I can't just, like, and also, I don't know how many, like, how all of them are, like, if I remember all of them,
right.
What stages of training they were at, if there were even any good. I don't know, you know? That's not my business. But Adrian's like, my aunt's dead, so... And Lissa might be the queen soon, so you might want to do what we say. It's like, okay, Adrian.
I don't know why. When I had read about Serena and Grant the first time, I pictured them older than Rose and Lissa. But when Rose is describing Serena, she says that Serena is her age.
Yeah, that was very jarring. Yeah.
Hate that. Not what I expected. And it's important to keep in mind that, like, where Serena is on her post right now, they're, like, at the gates of the court, surrounded by people. So it's not like this is confidential stuff that they're talking about, but they're doing it in public.
Right.
So Serena's like, I can't tell you this for a variety of reasons, one of which being that we are surrounded by so many people right now. I can't do this.
Yeah, it's like, actually, Lissa, you're yelling right now, and there are a lot of people around, and this is my job. Again, you were disturbing someone at their place of work. I'm just doing my job. I will get you a list later when I'm not at my job, at work, working.
Right.
Is that allowed? They're like, bet. Okay,
great.
Cool. And Rose gets, awoken again. But not, again, she's not sleeping, really. But they're at a hotel. And she's like, what's going on? And I mean, she's like, you need to fucking go to sleep. Like, you're like, sleeping, quotation marks, but, like, you're not sleeping properly. And Rose is like, no, man, we gotta go. We gotta stop and get Jill there before the election. And Jimmy's like, well, are they voting right now? And she's like, well, no. Not really. He's like, okay, let's go. Get in the fucking... get in the hotel. Let's go. You need rest. I also love, too, that this... After she, like begrudgingly goes in, she calls them those fools in her internal monologue, which is very good. I've missed... Listen, because Rose... This is kind of like... New Moon Swirl Depression era Rose, but 10 degrees darker. So we're not getting a lot of fun quips because she's actively punishing herself for a lot of different things. But it was nice to see a little just smugness in this moment.
So good. They have two. Yeah. It's very important to know when looking at this that they have two adjoining rooms. Sonia is taking Jill into the other room. They are going to go order room service and vibe. Probably watch Chopped or something.
Yeah, I love that for them. I hope they have a great night.
They're going to chill so much. And Dimitri is essentially pushing Rose into this room and is like, you need to sleep. We're not discussing this. You need to just chill out. Yeah. And he just goes and sits in this chair and is like, all right, we need to talk about what happened with Victor.
Yeah. Rose is like, okay, sure, but also can we get room service too? If we're gonna have that conversation.
I'm only having this conversation right now if we're having mozzarella sticks. And he's like, okay, fine, fine.
We get another highlight too. We're still tracking highlights a little bit there, here and there. Of guilt was its own prison.
Oh my god!
I really am the murderer. Everyone says I am. It doesn't matter that it was Victor. I killed him in cold blood. Go off. Damn. Depressed me. What's going on here? You got something to work through? But this conversation is...
It's so bad. It's so bad.
It sucks. It sucked to read so bad, because they are just saying the same thing at each other, but neither of them is listening. No. Rose really isn't listening. That's kind of the thing, but both of them as well. And it sucks really bad, because Rose is obviously like, I fucking killed a guy. Even if it was a guy who sucked, I killed him, and that's bad. And Dimitri's like, stop punishing yourself for things that you can't control. He was a threat. And also, listen, shit happens. We can't undo it. You can't punish yourself forever. And then Rose is like, well, you can't punish yourself forever for the things that you did when you were bad. And they just, Spider-Man pointing at each other and yelling at the same thing and being like, you gotta forgive yourself. And then Rose is like, you have to forgive yourself. And it's just and then neither of them want to do it. And it sucks. And Dimitri's like, I have. And she's like, no, you haven't. You keep punishing yourself and things are really different now. And you still, how you expect me to do that? God.
The wild thing, though,
I have. Just trust me, bro.
Is like, he has, though. And it takes until this moment for Rose to realize that she kept thinking Dimitri was punishing himself. And he had been for a really long time. Except for right now, something switched and he wasn't. And so she's like, wait a goddamn second. When did that change?
Right.
And he's like, honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like it just kind of happened.
But I know that, like, I have this second chance to live, and I was throwing it away with guilt and self-punishment. And she's like, well, fuck. It was easier when I was just deflecting, because you were doing it too, and now I have to kind of think about this. Damn it.
It was kind of fun when we were both doing this thing. Like, it was kind of like our thing. But now it's just like me, and you, like, beat it, and you succeeded, and you moved past it. And that seems like I have to do that now, and that's, like, hard. That sounds really hard.
And now she's like, well, fuck. Because I'm really happy for him, right? Like, she's like, I could cry with how happy I am. It's taken him so long to do this. And the other part of her is like, well, shit. I'm so not in that spot now. Which means that, and this is like her saying this, she's like, I've fallen so far. And so her self-pity is like taking her down. And this is like, this isn't even Rose. This is solely the darkness, right? That's making this so much stronger.
Yeah.
And so she's like, this is all about the honor that you're talking about, and I've lost mine. Like, I don't have honor anymore because I killed an innocent person.
Right.
And that's, you know, innocent is kind of not true, because, like, Victor wasn't an innocent person, but she's like, I didn't have honor when I killed him, is the main thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We do get to, and, like, it's true that Dimitri is not punishing himself the same way anymore. But she does make a good point that, like, has he truly forgiven himself is, like, the distinction. That is a no. Yeah, that is a big fat no. And so then we're just both like, ooh, we have to unpack that. But not before... Dimitri also, like, dramatically stands up. It's like, we get it, dude. You're tall, okay? Like, fucking relax. Right? And Rose is talking about... She kind of, like, goes into a trance and kind of talks about what the conversation she had with Sonia, which I was not expecting to be brought up so candidly like that. Because she's like, you know, we're the same. Even Sonia said it. Like, we have the same aura. We're all, like, stuck in our ways, and we're stubborn, and, you know, we hold ourselves to a different standard. And Dimitri's like, sorry, you're talking to Sonia about me? What do you mean? What's going on? Which...
And then she just, like, word vomits at this point.
Yeah. She's like, I shouldn't have mentioned it, but there's, like, all this aura stuff, and, like, it doesn't even matter. Like, Sonia's, like... halfway to Looney Town anyway, so, like, does she even mean anything? Like, does she know what she's talking about? I don't know what she's talking about. We just, like, start and finish our sentences, but, like, that's fine. It's fine.
At this point, if I was Sonia, I would have opened the adjoining door and flipped them off, but she was better.
It's like, you motherfuckers. Yeah. Oh, God.
This is where Frero starts getting worse with her crimes, because Rose leans her forehead against the window and is like, fuck, what do I do? Like,
right. It's so fucked up, because when I read that, I imagined that as, like, that meme of Kermit, like, looking out in the rainy window, and it's like, when will my husband come back from war? Like, that's the energy, but more sad.
And now she's like, I don't know. Like, it can't be that easy. I can't just, like, forgive myself. It can't be that easy. But then...
And it's like, maybe it's just, like, the darkness will always be here, and it sucks. And maybe... But she was right that, you know, maybe I needed a spark. And this motherfucker...
This piece of shit.
I swear to God, I hate him so much. He's like, well, she was right about something else. Like, you fucking guy... And she doesn't, like, turn around. She just, like, still, like, pressed against the glass. But, like, she feels that there's, like, a different quality to his voice that, like, makes her pivot. And she's like, well, what's that? He goes, I do still love you. I'm gonna fucking lose it. I hate them so much.
This is the part where I became Kermit, who got thrown out of the window, and everyone screams.
Right. Yeah. My limp body's on the floor, collapsed outside. Because I threw myself out the window. And fuck.
This is what ended it for me. These two sentences like, here.
God. The fact that she brings us back to the memory of the spirit dream that she had.
Goodbye.
When she was getting fucking tricked, when Dimitri was still a Strigoi, and she was like, this was like the beautiful little life I had, but that couldn't be real. Because it wasn't, and it can't happen. And now it's like, this is real. This is actually like flesh and blood. This is his eyes. This is his voice. Like, this is real. I'm awake. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you for that. Fuck you for that, for real. It's over. It's so over.
Which is like, that thing is one of my favorite, well, first of all, I'm using favorite, but it like fucking wrecks me. It's like one of my favorite things because when they do it in the Hunger Games, I hate,
Oh, yeah.
like real or not real, goodbye. But then, it's like, gut punch. And then it ends me here. These 3 sentences because she goes, since when? And she's like finally able to choke this out after realizing like, okay, I think this isn't a spirit dream. And this motherfucker says this like it's obvious. He's like, since forever.
Yeah. Rose. Duh.
Dimitri,
so
if I could get up on your level, like if I could have 2 of me stacked together, I would slap the shit out of you. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah, if I was Rose, I would beat the shit out of him for that.
You're the one that said love fades. Mine has. What do you mean since forever?
This woman has been plagued by that sentence. Those like 4 words.
The death threats she probably got.
That is
damage
twirling
control
around in her brain for what, months, weeks at this point? I don't know, a long time. And has reserved herself to Adrian and being like, I guess I like my boyfriend. I guess this is fine. And has just been like twirling around these horrible words this entire time. And you're just going to be like, oh, obviously I've liked you this whole time. Evil.
No.
I hate it here.
No.
I hate it here.
Yeah, this is definitely Ferrero trying to do damage control because you know the amount of like 10-year-olds who sent tear-stained letters to her. It's just like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
God. You can't just say that.
No.
And expect me to be okay with it.
No.
Fuck.
And of course Rose is trying to make jokes right now. Like, it's so, ma'am. She's like, so it wasn't my hair this whole time that you liked? That wasn't the whole thing?
It's like, it wasn't just how cool and sexy my hair was.
I hate
and
this
Dimitri's too. Like, well, doesn't matter now. It's too late. Sucks.
I hate this man.
And Rose's like, what do you mean? You just confessed to me your love, your eternal love, and you're gonna say, well, it kind of sucks that we can't do anything about it. Guess we'll just go on with the rest of our lives. And it's like, what are you saying? And Dimitri, again, is like, because of Adrian, you've moved on.
Because
and that, like, you were right to do that.
Adrian.
Because I suck. And it's like, you get to, like, you know, you said you love him. And you said that, like, he makes you happy. And Rose, again, is like, but you said that you love me. So this is, like, this, I think, trumps that. Because this is, like, the end game over here. You know what I mean?
Right. All of it, Demi, you want to stop because of Adrian?
Right. It's like, you think this is a competition? You think?
You think there's ever been a
on the
competition?
same level at all? Like,
Sure.
be for real. Like, I consciously forget that Adrian's even a person.
Literally.
That I know, let alone.
People have to remind Rose that Adrian exists.
Right. If Adrian wasn't just like popping into my dream every once in a while, I wouldn't think he existed. So.
God.
He could just be a figment of my imagination, too. He could just be a guy that's in my dreams. I don't know. I can't be sure.
Right.
It's been so long.
Right. This whole thing is like, he's like, well, I can't pursue another man's girlfriend. Like, that's what honor is, Rose.
Right.
She's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Right. It's like, I'm thinking about doing backflips right now because I'm so stoked about you saying that. Like, you complete me and you, like, understand me more than anyone. And Adrian's like, cool, he's fine. But it's not the same and never has been.
Especially when
With you.
Rose has been saying this whole time that, like, he does want to be a better person. He struggles a lot. But he doesn't want to be a better person for himself. He wants to, like, use Rose to get better. And that's not anything.
Yeah. Right.
It's so obvious. Dimitri.
Mm-hmm.
Good God.
And Rose is like, well, you should have told me this way earlier.
Right?
Because, like, I've obviously continued to love you. And he gets, like, puppy dog excited for a little bit, but it's like, doesn't matter, you know, Adrian, oh, man. And Rose is like, okay, second of all, I don't, like, belong to him or to anyone, and I make my own choices.
Hashtag girl boss.
Hashtag, yes, hashtag feminist icon. And then goes, I may be with Adrian, but I was meant for you.
Oh my God.
And then the floodgates fucking drop.
Yeah.
It's over. It's never been so over. But positively. We're so back, actually.
Please also remember that Rose is still in this fucking tattered dress that she's been in for
right,
days.
yeah, if you've forgotten, she probably reeks right now, honestly.
She's in a fucking potato sack.
This dress is just like 3 threads at this point. Like, there's like nothing going on here. But makes for a very sexy little scene because they're smooching, they're lifting, they're getting horny.
And he's
Everything's
not
going.
a Strigoi anymore, so it's like
Right. Yeah,
cabin.
like we can actually be excited about this and not like this feels good.
Yeah.
It's actually good.
She says
Normal-
that it was like
normal
coming
sex.
home.
I hate it here.
I hate this. I will say, Ferrero, love you. You're great. Could have done with a few less ellipses in this scene.
Yeah, right. Right. Yeah, it's getting a little the pauses are a little too much, I think.
Yeah. But it's very good.
Whatever.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Also didn't need to be reminded or of her being like, I'm so glad I waited to have sex for the second time. It's like, okay, man.
All right.
I didn't need to, like, remember. We didn't have to, like, say it like that. But
Yeah,
whatever.
that's okay. All right.
Relax.
I appreciate the conversation that they have afterwards, which is like, okay, so a couple of things need to happen now. First of all, I need to break this off with Adrian.
Yeah.
But that's my problem. You don't need to worry about
Right.
that.
That's my cross to bear.
Right. And second, but yours, Dimitri, is that you need to forgive yourself if we are going to be together. And she's like, I'm so fucking for real right now.
Right.
And if you can't do that, then we're not going to be together. And she like means it, which I was surprised about.
Right.
So good job. Good job, Rose.
We love growth, you know?
Yeah. Proud of you. And poor Dimitri's like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. And she's like, well, you better fucking figure it out. Because
Right. Better figure it out. If you want to be my lover,
you better get right with yourself. So
period. So true.
she takes her potato sack and she walks away. No, worse. She falls asleep and she has a spirit dream.
God. And look who it is.
It's not Ricky, Bobby, and Claire's. I'll tell you that.
I can imagine. No, it's Adrian. Chaboy. So everything is going to be really good.
My worst nightmare. Oh no.
Evil. So this fucking chapter, so brutal. She starts off and being like, I didn't run into his arms like I usually did.
Oh,
like, damn,
no.
This dude's already down so bad, and you're not even gonna, like, pretend. I love that.
I felt so bad, too, because Adrian's like, damn, you're glowing. You seem great.
I've never seen you this happy before.
No.
And Rose was like, yeah, weird. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway.
I just tried a new face mask. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm really just like, I got a new skincare routine going. It's really working for me. And she doesn't obviously say anything because she's like, listen, I do have to break up with him, but I feel like breaking up with him in a dream is kind of...
Like, did it happen in real life, you know? Like...
Right, if I break up in a dream, did I actually break up with him?
Yeah, he might say that it doesn't count.
Yeah, right, yeah, this is a liminal space, so, and Adrian doesn't really notice anything anyway, and it's just like, oh, yeah, what's going on? Everyone's talking about how you, like, kidnapped Jill, and the alchemist, like, there's, like, the hottest news in town.
Everyone's talking about it on the forums, it's weird.
Right, everyone's gossiping about it. Oh, God.
He also is like, why are you sleeping in the middle of the day?
Yeah. Be like, I thought you'd be on like a human schedule. And Rose is like,
that's so weird.
It was like so weird. It was kind of a rough night. You know, we were escaping from Guardians. And I'm sleepy. And nothing else tired me out to make me sleepy. So, don't wait for it.
Oh, no.
God.
I hate that. I hate this. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
God. These two. Unbelievable. Adrian's also like, your dad's like pissed too, because he's mad at Sydney. He's mad at everyone. And it kind of like shifts something in her brain of being like, we need Sydney. Well, at least we know we need like the guy who's with her who knows something, apparently. Because that's all connected. This is how we all figure the puzzle pieces.
And this is when my heart drops, because we know that they're keeping Sydney and the other alchemists like 45 minutes outside of court.
Yeah.
And so Rose is like, okay, go get Mikhail and have him meet us like at this restaurant that's like really close to where they're keeping the alchemists. And Rose, because she's so geeked out right now about Adrian and like what just happened with Dimitri, I don't think she puts the pieces together that she said Mikhail.
Right.
And that she's got Sonia there. And that means that they're going to see each other and be reunited. And I don't know that I can emotionally handle this.
Yeah, this is too much.
I might have like a Finnick Annie moment here, and I'm very nervous. I just hope, and I'm very nervous, I hope that Adrian just passes this along to Mikhail, and Adrian doesn't come along.
Yeah.
Because that could get real awkward really fast.
It's gonna get a little messy. Ooh.
Yeah.
And then she's like, great, we have a plan, get out of here. I need to actually go to sleep.
Right.
And Adrian's like, damn, you really don't waste any time kicking a guy out of bed. And Rose is like, what did you say?
What did you say? What?
What did you say about a bed? God.
So there's a lot of people. He's also like, he like kisses her before he leaves. He's also like, you need to be careful because like these guardians will not hesitate to kill you. And she does seem to like, at least fade a little bit to go back into Lissa's head. And now it's time. They're like headed towards the time of like, it's time for riddles. But Serena's here. She's got her list. And she put it in writing, which I would not have done, but bless you, Serena.
Yeah. I think putting it like, here's every suspicious person who was doing something very not allowed or not frowned upon, at least. Here's it on a written record. I love that.
And so Lissa and Christian and Tasha, because they're all walking with Lissa to the riddle time for a trial.
Test. Yeah.
Are looking at this. And there's some people that I don't know, so I'm assuming that they're not important.
Sure.
On here. But one of the people on this list is Adrian's mom. And that's interesting. Because Adrian doesn't know about that.
Right.
And also seems wild because when would Daniela even get into a fight? Like, that just seems wild to do.
Right. And also, she was very much of the camp that you should leave the fighting to the Guardians.
Yeah.
And they, they don't have to step in if they don't need to. And, like, was not a fan of Tatiana, really, who was very pro. Or, like, not pro, but, like, had, like, people were obviously training and stuff because of her. So, like, interesting. Wonder why that's happening.
Yeah, it's a very odd list. And apparently, like, according to Serena anyways, she said Grant was, well, at least according to Grant anyways, that Tatiana was watching every training session. And that after Grant died, Tatiana was briefing with the students individually to see how well they were learning. And that she might have met with some of the students the night that she died.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And some of the students had progressed enough to learn how to use a stake.
Interesting.
So, wild. It seems like at this point that some of them are like, oh, well, it has to be Daniela. I still don't think... I feel like that's a red herring. That's my truth.
Yeah, that's fair.
I found it wild that we finally got a name for Mother Time.
Yes, Mother Time, previously known as Old Woman in Chair.
Correct.
Not only has a name, but she was the queen before Tatiana. Also, there have been a lot of highlights so far in here. This is the first time I've seen a note.
Ooh.
And after her name, I put a note as a child and just said former queen. And I'm like, why did I have to do that? It says it in the next sentence. Why did I need a reminder of who she was? Why did I do that? I'm confused. But apparently this woman is as old as time. And so old that they made her stop being the queen because she was too old.
Damn.
Which is brutal. And Rose in her head is like, damn, that was like 20 years ago. And yeah, like, that's still... that. And she was too old then? She must be old as bricks now. Right. That's crazy. Wow.
So apparently, because she kept saying, like, old lady, and Janine was like, can you put some fucking respect on her name? Like, that's a Katerina.
It's a Katerina. Don't get it twisted.
But
it's not some random old woman.
Right. It's like, that woman is, like, 85 years older than Lissa. How was she supposed to know?
Right.
But apparently, now she knows, and that makes her more nervous when she goes down to see her. And she has an answer to a riddle.
Yeah, and honestly, walking up to this, she did not. She was still, like, going through a Rolodex of words in her head of, like, maybe this one will work. And she kind of thinks about it for a little bit, and it's sort of, she thinks about the queen, or Katerina, and being like, wow, she kind of got everything taken away from her. That sucked. It was like forced retirement. Like, that's brutal. But then it all clicks, and she's like, wait a damn minute. It's all connected. I know it now. It's nothing.
Dun, dun, dun.
You need to give everything up for your people. Bum, bum, bum. And then she gives, like, this, gap-toothed smile. And it's like, you did it. Congratulations. You're going to the vote.
Where apparently she needs a speech.
Right, she needs to write a speech, and Liz is like, oh, fuck, I hate doing things in public. Like, I hate being the center of attention, which is very funny for someone who's running to be the queen,
right.
But that's fine. And she's like, no, that's the easy part, it's gonna be fine. And Liz is like, well, whatever, it doesn't even matter, because, like, Ariana's the one who deserves it, so I'll just, like, I'll have a speech, but, like, she's the one who, like, is actually gonna win. And she's like, oh, no, honey. You didn't hear? She didn't pass the test.
Oh.
Bum, bum, bum. So now this plan with Rose really has to work because the other candidates don't seem very good. And what was her name? Ariana was like the one.
Right.
The primo. So, uh-oh.
Now it's like they really have to get there and do this because Lissa's now the only, like, good candidate.
Right. Yeah. So that's fun. I love that.
But we don't get to see Lissa panic because now it's Rose time.
It's back to Rose time. And Dimitri's like, you gotta get up, we gotta go. Because apparently the hotel thinks they checked in suspiciously. They're like, we gotta move. It's time.
Which they probably did, to be honest. So
right. Like, yeah, also just timing-wise, they need to just get out of here in general.
And she remembers the plan that she had made with Adrian, right. And was like, you know what? Actually, we do need to go because we have a time crunch.
Yeah, we do have things to do. Sonia, you need to make me a charm. We also have to make a pit stop in Greenston.
Yeah.
Dimitri's like, what the fuck is Greenston? And she's like, that's where the alchemists are being held. And we need them. And we need to go there and get proof that Daniela murdered Tatiana. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum.
So Rose seems set on Daniela at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to know more of her proof.
Right.
I am still set on my original plan where I committed that it is Tasha, but I'm curious to know their theory.
Yeah.
We have like 20% of the book left, so I'm curious to know. But we are also in crunch time because they are going to be like right up to the minute of the speech. Like they are going to be like minute to minute here, which makes me nervous. Yeah. Next week we have chapters 31 and 32, and we are so close.
God. We're almost there.
It's making me nervous. I know some of you were like, you need to read the next ones, which I think are from Sydney's perspective. Are they as painful as these ones? That's what I want to know. Can you answer that for me? That might be a deciding factor. Yeah. We have some amazing patrons to thank. Would you like to start us off?
Absolutely. Thank you to Alex Dornan.
Ooh, thank you to Jasmine Anastasia.
Pew pew. Thank you to Megan Pattinson.
Ooh, thank you to Kati Cart.
Ow. Thank you to Hope Castile.
Ooh, thank you to Maddie Facinelli.
Ow, ow. Thank you to Genevieve Morgan.
Ooh, thank you to Danielle Burke.
Boo boo. Thank you to Sophia Salinger.
Ooh, thank you to Laura Forty.
Ow. Thank you to Dan Zeklos.
Ooh, thank you to Emily Ozira.
Ow. Thank you to Jaylene Ivashkov.
Ooh, and last but certainly not least, thank you to Ashlyn Vocal.
Ow, ow, ow.
So I have a fan fiction for you. I pulled this one based on our conversation about missing the fighting in the ring from the television show.
Ah, Fuck.
And also how much we love / hate the way Ferrero writes Dimitri and Rose fighting. So this is titled A Pattern Beyond Reach. It's written by the author Glow Pink, and the summary is Rose and Dimitri fight just before the boxing match.
Oh my god.
And there's no chapters here. One thing Rose is painfully familiar with is Dimitri's sense of duty, his fear of losing control. It shows in his careful gaze, the way he chastises her when she pushes the boundaries a little. She has weeks of wanting so badly, her chest feels like it's going to break open to show for Dimitri's inability to ever choose something for himself. She's tired of it. Of course you'll have a choice. We all do. This place has you and everyone in it so fucking brainwashed, Rose barks. Dimitri's eyes soften for a moment, his gaze roaming Rose's face. When he speaks, his words are soft, muted, almost pleading. What would you have me do, Rose? Turn her down? Yes, Rose insists. You turn her down. You have to turn her down. Dimitri shakes his head, rolling his eyes ever so slightly. You want me to say no to the potential future queen of the Dominion? A woman who, as you well know, is no friend to the Hampiers, and certainly not to those who go against her. If you wanted to do it, you would, Rose says. It's not that simple. Yes, it is that simple, she replies. Rose hesitates for a moment, then lands her killing blow, drives her stake home. You just don't want to try, which seems to be a pattern with you. Dimitri flinches, like he's been stung. His voice is low and measured. He's angry now. Rose, not all of us have the luxury of a princess's favor. It's not up to me. He's lost, Rose thinks. Everything she saw in him locked away, hidden behind a glass of fear and duty and fucked up morality. It hurts to look at him. Save it, comrade. I'll see you in the ring. Maybe then you'll listen. End scene.
Damn. I love a pre-fight fight.
Oh my god. And then just...
Nothing better than that.
For them to take it out on each other the way they did in the show. Oh my god. The author's note at the end was, fuck you, Peacock, which I relate to a lot.
So good. Yeah, retweet.
I miss that show, and I can't believe we don't have a season 2. It hurts me a lot.
God.
Yeah. Well, friends, take care of yourselves. Enjoy 4 weddings for us.
Yes. Go to 4 different weddings. Just kidding. Don't do that.
And bring a scorecard just to really up the tension for all of the people in your life. Well, as we say here in the Pacific Northwest,
get big.
Ooh.
Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. You can follow us on Twitter at Into the Twilight or on TikTok at Into the Twilight Show. You can find me at Cody Corral on Twitter and Allie at Alexandria Does. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Into the Twilight. We have merch, so much stuff. All those links are in the episode description. And make sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast hosting platform. It really helps the show. Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media, audio for everyone.